Mike Trudell and Allie Clifton will be handling the post-game interviews. Who had the Kings game without Braun, AD, Caruso, and Gasol as one of the more entertaining games of the last 4 weeks, right before the All-Star break?
It was an entertaining game.
It really was.
If you want to just watch guys play basketball at its purest, you see that guys moving the basketball, guys playing good defense. It was a fun game to watch. Even though the Lakers lost, it was still enjoyable.
I know fans want to win that game. Chance to steal it right there without your star players. It's great to see guys get minutes. But, James, basketball, a lot of fun, a lot of scoring.
Yeah.
Guys getting minutes, guys getting shots.
Without AD, without LeBron and Caruso, the players that remain playing, they want to prove that they can play. And they want to prove they can probably win a game against a team that had been struggling in Sacramento, and they did everything they could. They played very hard. The stats are almost kind of even. Free throws, field goal percentage, three. But the one guy they couldn't get to shot 7, I think, from 11. Yeah. From behind the 3 when they really needed to lock down. He was the only one really that kept them in the game. And the Lakers were playing well enough to overcome and maybe push up a lead, but they just couldn't find Buddy Hield. And he lit them up in the third and fourth quarter for some big threes that kind of elevated them.
I mean, interesting that you talked about kind of the even stats. Yeah. I mean, the Kings shot 60%, which is way too high.
Yes.
Lakers shot 53, but they both made 12 threes. Points in the paint was 64-62 Kings, basically tied in fast break points.
Technically, they made 11 threes
because you know what? I want to show that actually.
On the line.
Buddy Hield in the second quarter with 8 minutes and 30 seconds left, and who knows what difference this makes in the game. It's a different game, right? If you take away that point. But check this out, big game, James, and they showed it a couple times, during the broadcast. Oh, we don't have it. I thought we had it. I'm sorry.
But it's funny how
I thought he told me we had it.
Yeah, when you look at that situation and they go back and they usually review things like that. I think these refs, I know one of the refs, Curtis Blair. Yeah. We got drafted together with the Rockets, and he was such in a hurry to get out of Houston that I'm sure he was such a hurry to get out of Sacramento Kings building again because they didn't even review that. They always review.
They always review it. It was in the second quarter.
And they didn't review it.
And my thing is, what the hell's going on in New Jersey?
Yeah.
We're always, spending 2 hours over there looking at a play.
You're trying to see if Caruso should have a flagrant for a knee going up on a layup.
If they're that, concerned about it,
listen,
and they're calling New Jersey from all over the world to get answers on the replay, why can't they see that and correct that? That makes the game. That makes the game.
I think we're all just excited. It's All-Star break, but I'll be honest with you. Listen, the refs had a really rough week. Yeah. There's no question about it. But you know who had a good game? Dennis, Kuz, and Montrezl Harrell. They combined for 79 points, season highs for all of them, except Trez actually tied his season high. How about this? A double-double for Kuz and Montrez, 26 and 12, 25 and 12. Schroeder also gets a season high 9 assists. So nice to see those guys get to be a big part of the offense and deliver, Rob.
We always talk about that. When guys are able to step up and get more shots, you can see what they're capable of because we know what Kuz can do because he's done it when AD's out. We know what Dennis Schroeder can do, and we know what Montrezl can do, but to do it all three together was amazing because Schroeder came out on fire, Kuz came out on fire, Trez came out on fire, and that lets you know that this team has some high-power offense. Just think about that. If they shut a ball like this with AD and LeBron, because that's the five that should be finishing every game for the Lakers. And the way they can score and the way they can compete defensively, they're amazing. They're going to be hard to stop once they can I think they still need time to gel together because you got two new guys they still trying to learn in Trez and Schroeder.
Yeah, listen, you got the greatest guy in the game in LeBron James having the ball at the end of the games. It's great to have a guy like Dennis Schroeder with you. You know what I mean? Yeah. Big game James that can create, take a little pressure off of you. You can then cut to the basket. You can spot up for a three. I mean, it changes the Lakers at the end of games.
Absolutely. I mean, he wanted to start. He wanted to, develop into a full point guard, doing everything, defense, offense, passing, and he's done that. So I think LeBron watching this game, AD watching this game, it's something for them to look at and maybe make, some advice to the coach. Maybe we should do this. Maybe we ought to try this because great players don't win MVPs and they don't win, championships without having what we saw tonight. We saw some really supportive players without their star players. And what Rob said, what they had to do, they had to move the ball. They had to, cut. They had to play team ball because they just didn't have that one ISO player, with the exception of Schroeder from time to time when he was able to blow by his man.
You saw some highlights of Kuz right there. And we talk a lot about Kuz, and people always want more from him. And you have to realize where he fits and how much he eats in this offense when Anthony Davis and LeBron James are there. And it's hard for people to wrap their heads around. When these guys don't play, you see like, wow, here's Kuz when he can play free, get 17, 18 shots. James, he goes for 25 points. It was nice to see Kuz get that kind of production. And he had a great look that we're going to show right now to tie the game. He almost hit it.
Yeah, we talked about that, I think, in the last game. We talked about why Pope only got a couple of shots and why somebody else only got 2 or 3 shots. Same thing with Kuzma. When AD and LeBron are there, it's just the volume of shots that they don't get. But when you give them opportunities, especially Kuz, who's been playing well, a double-double guy, even with AD and LeBron, but you give him opportunities like this, and he becomes the guy. He becomes kind of the go-to guy, and, he always answers the bell.
Listen, Rob and I mean, we all talk about this, but you played with Shaq and Kobe. All you guys, you have to fit in to play with 2 stars to win championships. Everyone has their role. We saw the Lakers were great at that last year. Everyone talked about who's going to be the 3rd guy. You have LeBron James, Anthony Davis. Everyone else just needs to fit, play a role, play good defense, hit big shots when called upon. But when Shaq and Kobe didn't play, Rob had a good time.
You
don't want it all the time.
You don't want it all the time, but sometimes you want to be the head of the table and eat too, So it's amazing how people don't understand. I was talking about this earlier with some friends of mine, that the people in the NBA are great athletes. Yeah. Sometimes they take a back seat because they have big dogs. They have to take a back seat too, and people don't understand how well they can shoot. And I think I learned that best when I got to the Lakers and we used to just shoot around with Kurt Rambis. Yeah. Kurt Rambis is retired, but he would stroke that thing from 3
You'd be like,
and beat all of
score.
us. And you don't notice because guys know their role. They say, that's not my role. I need James to score. I need Cap to score. I need Magic to score. But if you need me, I'm there for you. I'm going to score. And people don't understand also how hard it is to sit back like this and watch the game, let these 2 and all of a sudden then they count on you to make a shot. At the end, they're like, well, we need you to do this. But I haven't gotten my rhythm. So these are specialists. I call Kuz a specialist. I call Matthews a specialist because they don't get an abundance of shots. But when you're there and you need them, they knock down shots. And that's the hardest thing to do. So when people sit back and call these guys bums and they can't play, they're not getting an abundance of shot to put up the numbers. But if they did have those shots,
it's not the system
they
they're
could
in.
put up the numbers. So, yes,
I remember you telling me this, and it surprised me that it wasn't until later in the 80s, like that 87, 88 season, when you started to feel like you could get yours. You know what I mean, James? Especially 88, right? Like you were 6 years in.
Here's the first thing I had to realize. It blew my mind because I come into the game to the Lakers and I'm the most outstanding player in college. I can score, I can run. We would never allow Magic to play Isaiah Thomas or Stockton or one of those quick guards. We wouldn't do it. We put Byron on him. So the one thing I had to learn when I started, I had to play 2 guards. Yeah. Drexler, Dumars, guys like that. And so from a small forward to, just defense to take the pressure off of Magic because we needed him in the 4th quarter. And then later on, when Kareem got a little older, Rouse came to me around 1986 and 87. He said, okay, we need you to do what you know you can do. Cool. And so, you play that role. Lakers didn't need me. They just come off of 2 out of 3 championships. They had Bob McAdoo sitting over there, Cooper. So it was a rude awakening for your boy here to have to play 2 guards, chase it.